Looking for the best white gaming mouse? Here I have made the list of the top 5 best white gaming mouses in the market that are worth buying. Let's get started with the video. Number 5. Yes, you could argue that the wired Razer Viper is the best wired white gaming mouse. And we would agree. But the Endgame Gear XM1R is a strong contender, with its high-quality switches and great shape. It's worth checking out if you're after something a bit different. The Endgame Gear XM1R has an interesting shape. It's similar to SteelSeries iconic Sensei, understandable since the XM1R is by the same designer, but has a flatter profile. It's also narrow at the bottom and relatively wide at the top, an interesting combination of trays that makes it great for finger-to-pan claw grips. It feels like a unique halfway point between an ambidextrous mouse and the more sculptured shapes of ergonomic mice. It likely won't be to everyone's tastes, but we think it's worth trying if you want something slightly different. Endgame Gear put a lot of work into the XM1R switches. The XM1R uses pre-sorted Gale GM 8.0 switches with a claimed 80 million actuation lifespan. That's impressive and better than even Razer's contactless optical switches. Endgame Gear also claims that the XM1R uses analog technology to minimize click latency. However, the real-world benefits are minimal to non-existent and likely limited by the standard 1000 Hz polling rate. One potential issue with the Endgame Gear XM1R is its cable, which may be too flexible. If you often pull off large flicks, you may find that the XM1R's cable flops around a bit too much. It's also potentially less durable, as there's much less shielding and protection around it. But that's not likely to be an issue unless you're overly rough on your hardware. The Endgame Gear XM1R is a great wired white gaming mouse that's a compelling alternative to the usual brands and shapes. If you're bored of the usual shapes or want to change things up, check this mouse out. Number 4. Razer's updated Orochi V2 is a wireless mouse that splits the difference between low-end battery-powered wireless mice and high-end gaming-focused options. It combines a high-quality sensor and switches with AA and AAA battery support for some of the longest battery life you'll get from a wireless gaming-grade mouse. Razer claims that the Orochi V2 can get up to 950 hours from a standard AA battery via Bluetooth or a lower, but still excellent, 450 hours when connected via Razer's 2.4 GHz wireless solution. That's outstanding for a gaming mouse. But it does make the Orochi V2 heavier than most of its wireless competitors. Yes, Razer claims a less than 60-gram weight, but that's without a battery. An average AA battery weighs around 20 grams, 0.7 oz, so you're looking at an 80 to 85-gram weight for a fully laden Orochi V2. Respectable, but a noticeable bump over the 60 to 70-gram weights of other wireless white gaming mice. But even if the weight isn't exactly top tier, the Orochi V2 has enough under its hood to make it a great option. The Orochi's 5G optical sensor is a Pixar 3369 unit, a top-end unit. You also get Razer's second-generation mechanical switches, rated for an impressive 60 million clicks. As usual, the Orochi V2 has full programmable buttons via Razer Synapse 3. However, unlike some of Razer's other mice, the Orochi V2 supports the company's Hypershift function. Hypershift lets you program to separate layers, with one button to switch between the two, like the function key on a mechanical keyboard. This makes it a more versatile mouse than most, and perfect if you need some quick macros for your work. If you need a long-lasting travel mouse with legit gaming cred, the Orochi V2 is worth checking out. It might not be the best gaming mouse outright, but its price, universal shape, and long battery life make it a solid general-purpose wireless mouse. Number 3. G-Wolves aren't everyone's first port of call when it comes to gaming mice, but the brand offers some fantastic features for the price with their mice. The Hati ultra lightweight model is one of the more basic looking mice in this roundup, yet still oozes plenty of aesthetic appeal. The shell is a soft ambidextrous one that certainly won't be ruffling any feathers. While the mouse is a little bulky, this will feel comfortable for anyone who loves ambidextrous mice. Bad news for the left-handers though, the side buttons are optimized for a right hand, but that is something you're probably used to. This mouse comes with a common honeycomb design, helping keep the weight down at 61 grams. The white shell is slightly duller than other models, but that is down to the matte finish. Inside, we see the Pixar 3360 optical sensor, an older variant but still as accurate as any other sensor available. Flickshots and tracking were made easy with this sensor and the low-weight design, making this ideal for anyone who plays competitively. The switches are rated for 20 million and felt very responsive. Aside from that, we see new PTFE skates on the bottom, from a silky smooth glide no mat to the surface. There is also a paracord for the cable, making cable drag almost non-existent. All in all, we have a great gaming mouse here regardless if you get it in white or red. You will also get 4 mouse grips and 2 TTC dustproof switches, giving you a lot of features for your money. Number 2. The Razer Viper Ultimate is a top-end gaming mouse with all the features you'd want in a premium product. You get low latency wireless connectivity, a high-quality sensor, and high-endurance optical switches, all wrapped up in an ambidextrous, lightweight body. And when we say ambidextrous, we mean it. The Razer Viper Ultimate is designed for left and right-handed use. Many of the top mice have symmetrical shapes, but the Viper is one of the few with thumb buttons on both sides. So if you're a left-handed user who wants thumb buttons in the proper place, this is likely your best bet. There's a lot to like about the Razer Viper on top of the ambidextrous design. Razer's Focus Plus sensor is excellent, equal to the top offerings from Logitech and PixArt. Combine the sensor with a relatively light 74-gram weight, and you get a mouse that's great to use in all sorts of games. The Razer Viper's Razer optical switches are also highly durable, with a claimed 70 million click lifespan. They don't have the click of traditional buttons, which might be a downside for some of you, but that's a small price for that much longevity. And they still feel quite good, if not quite as crisp. If you're a right-hander shopping at the high end, you'll likely have to choose between this and the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. Both are on par technically, with the only significant difference being the shape and how well it fits your hand and grip style. The Razer Viper Ultimate is also arguably better value since it includes a charging dock. Overall, the Razer Viper Ultimate is an excellent white wireless gaming mouse that goes toe-to-toe with the best. I prefer the Logitech's shorter shape, but I'd happily use the Razer Viper Ultimate daily if the G Pro X Superlight didn't exist. There's also a wired version if you want to save some money. Number 1. Logitech G Pro X Superlight is a fixture on our mouse lists, and for a good reason. It's an excellent mouse. Its top-class sensor, brilliant shape, and ultra-lightweight body, especially for a wireless mouse, make it a tough act to beat. The most impressive aspect of the G Pro X Superlight is that Logitech has managed to squeeze a 70-hour battery into a 63-gram mouse. That's light even for a wired mouse, but it's outstanding for a wireless mouse, especially one without honeycomb cutouts. But it's not just the weight that makes the Superlight an excellent mouse. It has a great shape, which we'd call safe and just right. It's slightly short compared to some other mice, but that arguably makes it better for claw or fingertip grip users. I certainly found the shorter length more comfortable than the Razer Viper, despite the latter being a better fit on paper. Beyond the weight and shape, the G Pro X has the features you'd expect on a high-end mouse. Logitech's Hero 25K sensor is nigh on perfect, with no tracking or spin-out issues, while the 2.4 GHz wireless connection is reliable and has lower latency than even some wired mice. Performance-wise, there's nothing to complain about here. However, the G Pro X Superlight isn't perfect. It lacks the DPI switch button common to most other mice, which may be a deal breaker if you use it regularly. The Superlight also lacks onboard memory and still uses the less reliable micro USB connection for charging and wired use. We'd have liked to see a USB-C port at this price. Those minor quibbles aside, we think the Logitech G Pro X Superlight is one of the best gaming mice ever made. Its high price makes it a relatively poor value proposition, but anyone after the best white gaming mouse would do well to start here first. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video helped you. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like, comments and subscribe so you don't miss anything. We'll see you next time.